Now, I hear that everyone's partying hard, very upbeat mood, a bullish Prime Minister, big speeches today from Rishi Sunak, and no one thinks there's any crisis in the country whatsoever. Would that be about right or not?
You know, well, it's a bit weird, as in, like, you're right, it's in some ways quite flat, but assured, kind of also bizarrely optimistic. Well, maybe not bizarrely optimistic, I shouldn't say bizarrely. It is optimistic because they know that they are fundamentally, I think, electorally in a good place. But it does seem somewhat detached from some of these big challenges coming down the track for the country, whether it's disruption to goods, higher inflation, whether it's the prospect potentially that interest rates at some stage may need to rise, and of course this idea of tax rises, which are definitely coming down the track. And it is interesting listening to Rishi Sunak today. Again, the kind of conference was summed up in his speech. Very little policy detail, hardly any announcements at all, apart from the extension of some extra money, particularly for people who want to get into work as young people. But in the end, there was lots of big, aspirational, bold ideas that Britain has got an optimistic future. He did deal with that really crunch issue, though, Nigel, of taxation, suggesting that it was immoral in many ways to put on the burden of government spending that we've seen over the last couple of years on the taxpayer of the future, essentially to put it onto the national debt to a large degree. His argument is that we need to pay for it now, and he was pretty unapologetic about those tax rises they're going to see over the next 6 months or so. But there are many Conservatives, in many ways, who are pretty uncomfortable asking questions. What does it mean to be a Conservative at the moment, given where the government seems to be taking the country? But let's have a listen in to what the Chancellor Rishi Sunak had to say a little bit earlier in his speech here in Manchester.
I have to be blunt with you. Our recovery comes with a cost. Our national debt is almost 100% of GDP, so we need to fix our public finances. Because strong public finances don't happen by accident. They are a deliberate choice. They are a legacy for future generations and a safeguard against future threats. I'm grateful. We should all be grateful to my predecessors and their 10 years of sound Conservative management of our economy.
10 years of sound management of the economy where the national debt went up every single year.